What's up, horror fan? Welcome back to the channel. So for today's daily episode, we have a couple topics to be talking about. We have an update on the R.L. Stine films. Now, you may recall we've already received 3 films from R.L. Stine's work. Fear Street Part 1, 1994, Fear Street Part 2, 1978, and Fear Street Part 3, 1666. We received all those in July 2021, but now we have an update on some more films that will be coming out to Netflix here this year. We have one coming out this year and potentially a few more in the future. Plus, we have our second clip and look at the Peter Pan horror take. Now, if you haven't been up to date on this, there's been plenty of news going around the Poonaverse, where we have these public domain, at least now public domain characters from Disney, Peter Pan being one of them. We are getting a horror take on this Peter Pan, and it will be in theaters, but only for a very limited time. It's only going to be in theaters, I believe, on the 13th, 14th, and 15th. And I'm not sure if that's going to be a widespread release or if it's going to be limited release in certain areas, but nonetheless it is getting a very short theatrical release, and then soon it will, I'm sure, be on streaming. No news if we're going to get any physical releases on any of these films, but I think of all the public domain horror takes that we've seen on these Disney characters, Peter Pan has to be the one that feels the most grounded, the most like it fits in the horror genre. If you didn't know it was Peter Pan and you just stripped away those titles and those names within these clips and these trailers and just gave them something different, it feels like a true horror film or something that could have been based off of a true story or a true event. So we're going to take a look at those details, and we're going to take a look at the new clip that just got released with this new information. It's about a minute and a half. It doesn't get into too graphic details, graphic scenes, but it does give us a clear look at the character Peter Pan. So we'll take a look at that. So let's get into this first one here. R.L. Stine reveals 3 more Fear Street films in the works. So Netflix is getting ready to welcome viewers back to Shady Side this year with brand new movie Fear Street Prom Queen, but Fear Street series author R.L. Stine has revealed to THR that planning is underway on 3 more Fear Street movies. Quote, "The writers are working," Stine told the outlet, "so I've got my fingers crossed. Considering there are over 50 novels included in the original Fear Street series, there are a lot of stories to mine for feature adaptions." The author didn't divulge any details, either including whether the 3 new movies will be tied to Lee Jenkins' trilogy of the upcoming Prom Queen, though it seems likely. We do know that Fear Street Prom Queen will be nestled between the events of Fear Street 1994 and Fear Street 1978. Matt Palmer is directing the franchise's upcoming 4th installment. The Fear Street trilogy was released as an epic summer movie event of over 3 consecutive weeks in July 2021. The acclaimed films Part 1, 1994, Part 2, 1978, and Part 3, 1666 spent 12 collective weeks on the Netflix top 10. So we're going to take a pause there, and I've mentioned this before, especially we covered a update on The Watchers, which is a Dakota Fanning film. Now that film as well has been, for whatever reason, skyrocketing in the top 10 of Netflix over the past couple of weeks. I've seen these 3 films and I enjoyed these 3 films for what they were. Now The Watchers, I did see that film. It was not a good film, did not stay true to the source material in any way, shape, or form. And it was just a complete letdown. By the time you got halfway through the film, the other half of it was just, again, pure letdown. And yet again, it's in this top 10. Now, I don't believe this Netflix top 10 thing is of any true value, because it will normally show films that are new and they stay there. Like The Watchers was in there for about 2 or 3 weeks. I think it's still in the top 10. And I think, as I predicted, I think it's just due to the fact it's something new and people want to watch it, and they weren't willing to go pay theater prices to go see it, so they waited for streaming, and that's why it's skyrocketing in the top 10. And also, The Watchers just happened to release over the holidays. Again, you have people at our home, people aren't at work, aren't in school, so they're looking for things to watch. This was something new that got released to Netflix, so it's going to probably be in the top 10. Now, if we actually had the thumbs up, thumbs down rating numbers, I don't think, and people were actually rating it, I don't think it would be in the top 10. But these 3 films deservingly were in the top 10, and I think that they should have been. They were good films, again, for what they were based on the source material. So just wanted to add that in there. The surprise reveal that a new trio of Fear Street movies is in development arrives as Stine is doing press for the brand new Goosebumps The Vanishing. Stine amusingly broke down the difference between his Fear Street series targeting an older teen demographic versus the middle school age Goosebumps. The thing about Goosebumps is that no one ever dies. That's the difference between Goosebumps and Fear Street, where we kill off teenagers right and left. We kill them all. Everyone loves it when you kill teenagers, the author told THR. The new season adapts Stay Out of the Basement, The Haunted Car, Monster Blood, The Girl Who Cried Monster, The Ghost Next Door, and Welcome to Camp Nightmare. As for new Fear Street movies, which novels would you like to see adapted? I mean, I'm good with, again, seeing Fear Street Prom Queen. I mean, that's the one they're coming out with next. Now, as far as what else they do after that, as this article mentioned, there are 50 total novels that they could, adapt to film or TV series if they decide to even go that route. I mean, and they're only 3 in with a 4th in production with talks of doing 3 more. So they have a lot of runway here if they do it right. Now, you don't, in my opinion, want to oversaturate the, Netflix or your audience with these stories. Now, we got 3 of them in 2021. It's now 2025. So I think that's a good gap. 4 years, you gave 3 films. If you're going to give, 3 or 4 more films this year, potentially this year, and then wait another few years, I think that'd be smart. Or, take 1 or 2 of the novels and make them into a TV series to give, again, more runway, spread the content out. Don't feel like you're just putting content out there just to put it out there, because I think unless your audience is completely committed, they're going to get tired of seeing it, and then they might just move on. So I think they might want to be careful with how many of these they're going to be releasing either every year or every couple of years. All right, so going on to the next topic, meet a very twisted lost boy in exclusive Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare clip. Scott Jeffrey's newest entry into the Poonaverse hits select theaters on January 13th. So yeah, as I mentioned, it doesn't seem like this is going to be a wide release, but it is going to be in theaters for a few days. I've checked my local theaters. I don't see this playing anywhere near me. If it was, it would be something I would be interested in seeing, just because I think it's the most interesting one and most horror looking one of the Poonaverse, in my opinion. Again, you strip away Peter Pan's name and those references, this feels like a true horror film. So we have an image here. I don't want to pass on that. From the film. So Winnie the Pooh, Cinderella, Bambi, and now Peter Pan. It seems no beloved childhood icon is safe from the twisted childhood universe. From Jagged Edge Productions, ITN Studio, and director Scott Jeffrey comes Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, the latest entry into the Poonaverse, hitting select theaters on January 13th, and we've got an exclusive clip, which we will take a look at here in a moment. So we're not going to cover off on this next piece. It just goes over, who's all starring in this film, the cast. We've covered this off on many other videos. So the newest entry into the Poonaverse follows Wendy Darling as she strikes out in an attempt to rescue her brother Michael from the clutches of the evil Peter Pan, who intends to send him to Neverland. Along the way, she meets a twisted Tinkerbell who is hooked on what she thinks is fairy dust. In our exclusive clip below, poor Michael meets the legendary Lost Boy, who looks quite a bit different from his previous Disney outings. Tickets for Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare can now be purchased online at Iconic Events releasing. From Jagged Edge Productions and ITN Studios, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare arrives in theaters for 3 days, only starting January 13th until January 15th, only from Iconic Events releasing. So again, as I mentioned, very limited release. I think it will probably hit streaming fairly quickly after the release, probably within a month. I hope it does anyways, because this is one of the ones I've been looking forward to seeing. All right, so let's now take a look at this clip and see what we're going to be getting ourselves into.
Peter Pan. Oh, the big frightened. I'm just a big old teddy bear. My mother, she used to do terrible things to me. When she would do things to make me upset, I'd close my eyes. Can you close your eyes, Michael? Close them. Oh, good boy. And I would dream of this magical place All would be filled with children our age. And we'd play all day and all night long. And I wouldn't be scared anymore. So when you get scared, just think of that place. Because it's real. It's real, Michael.
So what do you guys think? I'm all in for this one. I still feel if you pull away, strip out all the Peter Pan stuff, you would think this is could be a regular, typical horror film based on true events, based on true story. The character Peter Pan, how they're portraying him, I don't know, it has that Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lamb type of feel to it. But I know we have reviewed clips where his voice is very different. Like there's the clip we've gone over where he's coming out from this like basement door from like the floor up into like the attic, and he's using this voice. Almost sounds a bit Joker-like from like the DC comics. And we've seen the clip where he gets on a bus that has a bunch of children on it, and he first starts talking off like Joker when he has this mask on, and then as soon as he takes off the mask, he gets that deep voice, like that deep, scary, horrorish voice. So I'm all in for this one. I can't wait to see this film. Like I said, I would be going to see it if it was playing in theaters in my area, but sadly it's not. So if it is in your area and you have a chance to see it, I'd recommend checking it out. It could be one of those surprise films. But again, it's part of the Pooniverse. I know a lot of people aren't really into the Pooniverse, aren't really invested into it. So hopefully, again, this one turns out to be good. But we do have the Monsters Assemble film supposedly coming out this year, which I believe Peter Pan will be involved in as well. So more to come on this entire universe. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for today's episode. I just want to say a quick thank you to all the new subscribers to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you for all the support. Keep the comments coming. We are doing our best to reply to each and every single one of them. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so and drop a comment in the comment section of this video. Let us know what you think about the R.L. Stine films, the ones that have already been released in 2021. And are you looking forward to the new release for Prom Queen this year? And are you going to see Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare if it's playing in your area? If not, are you waiting for it for streaming? All right, everyone, that's going to do it, and we will see you at the next one. Peace.